Good evening. Welcome to the February 24th Select Board meeting. At this time, would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing up on the agenda is the acceptance and corrections of minutes for 2/3/2020 public and 2/10/2020 public and non-public. Looking for a motion.
I make a motion we accept the minutes for 2/3/20 public and 2/10/20 public and non-public.
Second.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Chet. All those in favor for the minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it. Well, we definitely got 10 minutes to kill between now and then. Derek, why don't we start with your town administrator's report?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
At tab 5A, you have your committee meeting scheduled for this week. On Wednesday at 6:30 PM at Grassmere Town Hall is the HGC.
Yep.
At 7 on Wednesday is the Conservation Commission here in this room.
Yes.
On Thursday at 7 PM, the Planning Board.
Yep.
Okay. And just a reminder that next Monday, the Select Board does have a special meeting at 6 PM. The next page, you've got your consent agenda. You have employee status reports, increase in compensation for the moderator, increase in compensation for the 3 supervisors at checklist, 3 police officers, new hire, call firefighter 2, AEMT, new hire, a call EMT resignation, and a resignation of a call firefighter 2/EMT. You have rights to inter at Shirley Hill Cemetery, Section 3, Lot 61A, and also at Shirley Hill Cemetery, Section 3, Lot 65, 72, and 75. You have a certificate of appreciation that's on the meeting room that needs signatures. And then an event permit for the Pinardville Lions Club Easter Bunny Breakfast and Egg Hunt on April 11th, 2020, from 8 to noon at Bartlett Elementary School.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Collis, seconded by Kelly to approve the consensus folder as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it.
At the next page, you have assessor's recommendations. The town assessor recommends the following. Tax deferral for elderly and disabled for map 6, lot 22-144, and map 36, lot 65. He also has a report of timber cut and timber tax warrant for map 2, lot 37.
Make a motion to approve the assessor's recommendations.
Second.
Motion by Chet, seconded by Collis. The town assessor's report is recommended. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it.
At tab 5D, you have the 3 ordinances, that went to public hearing in accordance with RSA 41:14-B. This was for the stop sign on 2nd Avenue at the intersection of Summer Street, the stop sign on Bell Road at the intersection of Bog Road, and then the John King Drive speed limit ordinance to set the speed limit there to 25 miles per hour. The first public hearing was held on January 27th at 6:30, and the second public hearing was on February 10th at 6:30.
So at this time, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance for the stop sign on 2nd Ave at the intersection of Summer Street ordinance.
I'll second that.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Chet, for the first one of the stop sign on 2nd Ave at the intersection of Summer Street ordinance. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it.
I'll make a motion to approve the stop sign on Bell Road at the intersection of Bog Road ordinance.
I'll second it again.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Chet, for the stop sign on Bell Road at the intersection of Bog Road ordinances. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it. And the last one?
I'll make a motion to approve the John King Drive speed limit ordinance.
Second.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by not Collis, Chet, for the John King Drive speed limit ordinance. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it.
That's all I had from the town administrator's report.
Chief Allard? Are you all set, or you need another minute? Good evening, Chief.
Good evening. I'm also going to ask the finance director to come up as well.
Sure. Yep. Good evening, Danielle.
So the first topic I'd like to discuss tonight is the stems back from May of last year with regards to changing EMS vendors and then accounts that were no longer able to be collected upon. And then kind of give you guys an overview of what we're recommending that is abated, and then to move from active collections into, active accounts into collections because they're past their filing dates. So I'm going to ask Danielle to give us a brief overview of some of that stuff.
So you may recall when we last approached you, there was quite an amount outstanding due to the ambulance fund receivables, and when we reviewed the information, we saw that the collection rate was just under 10% on some of those older accounts. I mean, at the time, we started to inform you about the statutory requirements, where when an account is beyond 3 years, it's no longer collectible. So it can only go to credit reporting until it hits 7 years. So we're now at a point where we're just trying to clean up the books as we've transitioned from the old billing agency to the new billing agency. And we have a number of those accounts that have fallen off of the activity as far as the collection agency is no longer able to go after them. They can no longer credit report on them. And so we're just trying to get those pulled off of the books as no longer due to the fire department, because it's really, no action can be taken at this point.
So you say no action, will they go down further down the road to a collection agency, or is that already?
It's already done, it's already past that.
Okay,
And then there are some balances as well that were very insignificant balances as we looked through.
yeah,
You know, you can't chase people down forever to get $5.
Yeah.
So where there were small differences between what their insurance paid and what we were able to collect from the individual, you know, we've wrapped those up into this total as well. Of the amount that we're asking to be abated, the insignificant balances totals, I think it was about 2,000 of that.
questions or discussion, guys? Kelly?
I see on here that you're sending 95,000 to collections. So these two amounts together is what's currently owed as of today?
This is only for the Comstar.
Okay.
The old billing agency. Everything that's current with the new agency is still in an active state where we're collecting on it and billing out insurance companies, because we've only been with the new agency since June.
Right, okay.
Any other questions? Do we need a motion on this, Derek, or anything to?
Yeah, there's a proposed motion, and I would just note, it should be for $53,599.80 that the finance director and fire chief are asking to have abated, and then the remaining balances for the previous billing agency would go to collections.
I'll make a motion to authorize the finance director and fire department to abate $53,599.80 and to move any remaining balances to the collection agency as presented.
Second.
Motion by Collis, seconded by Kelly. All those in favor of the approval of $53,599.80 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it.
Yep.
Yep.
And then the second thing I'd like to talk about is a couple potential grant applications. We would like to request the board's approval to move forward with applying for the grant. Of course, we would come back prior to accepting those grants. The first one is the 2019-2020 AFG grants, or Assistance to Firefighter grants, have opened up. Recall last year we did submit for stretcher grants to replace our remaining 2 ambulances. We'd like to do that again. We were unsuccessful last year. We would like to, the board's approval to move forward with that process. That's a 95/5 cost sharing, so it would be approximately $5,000 would be the town share, and that would come out of the EMS fund through the money that was appropriated for the one stretcher that we were going to buy in 2020. So there would be actually a significant savings of approximately $30,000 by if we're successful at getting this grant.
I know what the grants personally mean to the department. I wish you the best of luck on this one, Chief.
Thank you. And then just as a side note for this one, for this grant opportunity for AFGs this year, there's a chance that we can actually apply for a second one. Usually they don't let departments do that, and it would be specific for gear. And I know the board certainly approved moving forward last year with buying gear, so there might be an opportunity to purchase gear on a grant, but that's not for tonight. The second grant is for the New Hampshire Homeland Security and Emergency Management Warm Zone Grant. So that is for tactical gear that we would wear if we were entering into a warm zone with police officers. Some of our current gear is actually at the end of its life. We have to replace it anyways. Grants just opened up to replace that gear. It's up to $6,000. There's no match on that particular one. And then finally, the third year would be, the third grant is from Firehouse Subs. They have a public safety foundation, and they offer grants that we're looking to purchase to go along with our gear that we bought last year, particulate hoods that actually go over our heads and necks, and there's no match on that. And we anticipate requesting up to $20,000 for that grant, and there's no match.
Just a question, Chief, on the material for the warm zone. That's a shelf life of 10 years like everything else that
Exactly.
fire service?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, the ballistics actually have a shelf life on them.
okay. Kelly?
Thank you. The third grant for the Firehouse Subs,
Yes.
the amount of $20,000, is that typical of what they award?
Yeah, they're all,
Is that-
they
okay.
kind of wide range of grants from $1,000 and up past $20,000.
Mhm.
I forget what the total is. I want to say 50 off the top of my head, but
Depends how many subs they sell, right?
exactly. So this would be, again, to buy those particulate hoods. So if we do go to fire, they can actually have they would put one in the laundry, and then we would have a second one ready to go for them.
Mhm. Okay.
I noticed you had spoken about the new gear, Chief.
Yes.
Any date of the new gear arriving? Have we had any?
I want to say it was March.
March? Okay. Great, cool. Thank you very much. Any other questions of the chief?
So we look for a motion to,
I'll
Could I
make a-
just give a motion to approve for the grant applications?
Make a motion that we
Yep.
approve the fire chief to apply for the 3 grants presented.
I'll second that.
Motion by Kelly, seconded by Chet for the grant application request of the 3 grants. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The ayes have it. Thank you,
very
sir.
much.
No public comment?
Yep, yep. At this time, we'll do the public comment. Anybody in the audience for public comment? Seeing none, I will close the public comment. And we'll go to Parks and Recreation Director. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you?
Very good.
Parks and Rec Commissioners have reviewed the program fees, facility fees for the department. And after reviewing the fees, the actual program fees, those were increased by $5 last year on average. So they didn't see a need to change any of those fees. One of the fees that kind of stood out that has not been changed since the inception of this back in 2010 was the facility rental fee of the actual building. After reviewing that and seeing the amount of increases that we see, whether it's through propane, oil, electricity, wear and tear, care, et cetera, of that area, they'd like to raise that to $25 an hour for the use of the gymnasium. The folks that are using this are basically independent contractors, folks that do Zumba, line dancing, different activities such as that, boot camps, et cetera. So they would like to raise that to $25. The other area was the commissioner's room, which is the room in the back. And that is really mainly a meeting space. I mean, that's kind of what it's meant for. It's not a large size, et cetera. And what they like to do there is to change that to a $25 flat fee per meeting, where that used to be $10 per hour. Average meeting seems to be anywhere between 2.5 hours in length, so that's what they said, let's do a flat fee. So that's pretty much the only area as far as fees in the department that we have increases for.
Cheapest meeting space around.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Thank you. Rick, what was the gymnasium rate currently?
Currently 15.
Any other questions?
So rather than belabor this, I see that the town administrator has a recommendation that I think is a good one. And so I will recommend that the town administrator direct all departments throughout town to review their fee schedule and bring any proposed changes to the March 9th, 2020 meeting, and also to schedule a public hearing on those fee schedule changes for March 23rd, 2020.
Second?
In other words, let's do all of them. Let's
Oh,
do
okay.
townwide changes.
All right,
That's
I
the
got you.
intent
Yeah,
of this, is to
yeah.
get everybody, all the departments to propose their fee changes,
Yeah.
so we can do it all at once. And then hold a public hearing on all of them in their totality.
I made a second.
So there's a motion by Caller, seconded by Kelly, to have all the fees looked at by the town and to bring back to the meeting here on March 9th, you said, Collis?
Yes.
March 9th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it.
And then to schedule a public hearing on the fee schedule changes for March 23rd, 2020.
Yep.
Can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
If we're gonna be reviewing the fees, is there any policy that pertains to that for usage that we should maybe look at too?
Would you like to, I can bring the facility use,
That's good background.
There's a couple different ones I know of.
there's the Grassmere one that you adopted changes in the fall, but there is a general one for all the other town that includes the fees, but also what's allowable there. So I can bring that, I will add that to the meeting on the 9th.
Thank you.
What day is that?
March 9th.
March 9th?
Yes.
Okay. I won't be able to do the 23rd, but I can be here for the 9th.
That's only the public hearing
hearing,
though. So at
Okay.
the,
Yeah, just take public comment.
Okay. It's a basketball awards night.
Oh, boy. Can't miss that one, huh?
No.
Moving on to the select board discussion under old business. Wallace Road Roundabout, the last I'd heard, we're still waiting for some information on that one.
yeah, we've provided, DPW had provided them updated CAD files from the original McFarland Johnson study, and they're currently crunching numbers to give us construction estimates for some of the recommendations they'll be bringing forward to the select board.
Do we have an estimated time when that might be done?
I will reach out to them and see what their schedule looks like and when they have that. When we talked, it didn't seem like it was gonna be that far away, so, but I'll get a more firm date.
Next one is changes to personnel plan.
We have some suggested ones that have been sent out to some of the different departments to review, and I think what we're struggling with a little bit is the departments have different standard operating procedures or SOGs, and we're trying to make sure that everything meshes correctly.
blends in and-
blends in before we bring anything to you, so
That's
that's what
fine.
we're working on now.
That's fine.
Do you know if departments will be proposing kind of sub-policies. So like, let's say, for example, we have an overall dress policy. That might be very broad, but each department could have their own policy underneath that. Is that kind of the direction we're going,
I
or
think
trying to
it-
put them all into one?
I don't know that we're gonna put them all into one because, some of the statutory authority under fire chiefs and police chiefs allow them to set, those guidelines and procedures. So they have, over the years, set those, and what we're just trying to do right now is kind of gather and see where the overlapping is and make sure that we don't have any information that conflicts. So I don't know there would be a sub-policy of an overall town one. I think they would still govern their own policies. We're just making sure that we're not creating any conflicts that would create any confusion.
Great, thank you.
And Glen Lake Waterfront Ad Hoc Committee?
I did speak with the chairman on Friday, Andy Catarat. They made one minor tweak to their policy, or not their policy, their report. So I'm working on it with him this week to finalize the formatting of that plan. And right now, it's tentatively scheduled to come before you on March 9th for the final presentation. So they've had their final meeting, basically, made their final report, and we're just finishing up the final formatting that report to come to the board and make their recommendations to you.
Report's looking very good, by the way.
Communication strategy?
I think that's in kind of like the personnel plans and some of those things. We're seeing that many of the departments had their own social media policies, so we're just, again, trying to make sure we're not creating any conflicts or any
Duplicating anything as well? Yeah.
duplicating, but also creating any conflicting guidance to employees.
Grants, we heard from the chief about that this evening. Fire engine, vehicle engine number 6, the pump is currently being rebuilt. Ongoing.
Yeah, all the parts have been sent out to the machine shop. We're hoping to have it back together next Monday.
Good, thanks, chief. DPW, truck number 352, a broken salt chain, currently working on in-house. See if the parts are available, should be in service next week. And DPW 355, Freightliner 10-wheel dump truck at Freightliner, New Hampshire with transmission issues. Freightliner is waiting to hear back from Allison to diagnose the problem. And then DPW Freightliner 10-wheel dump truck in the shop for dump piston replacement.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
on this? I know it's not on here anymore, but do we have any news on the AmeriCorps position?
No, we haven't posted on the website. It's posted on AmeriCorps. I'll reach out to Catholic Charities to see if they've received any employment applications that have come in.
I don't see anything else. Before we close the meeting, I'll ask again, anybody here for public comment at this time? No public comments. I'll close the public comment. And I'll look for a motion to go into non-public, unless you have anything else, Derek, or?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
I don't have an agenda in my packet, so somebody will have to make a motion.
All right, I'll make the motion. We go into non-public session, RSA 91A:32, for compensation and C, adversely affecting reputation.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Kelly. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And that's also a roll call,
That's a
right?
roll call, yes.
Chet?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep,
Yep.
okay. All right. Thank you very much. That'll be it.